Well, we had our first frost last night. It got around 26 degrees, so woke up to about 28 degrees this morning, and I thought I would walk through my garden and show you what survived. This would have been real helpful information to me as when I was a new gardener many years ago to know what would survive a frost. So I'm going to share with you here what died and what survived. Okay, in my first bed here, which I do not have covered, I have shallots, and those are looking great. And I have a broccoli over there, which survived fine. I expected it to because it was not a really hard frost. And then back here, the pepper did not, and I harvested those last night before the frost set in, so I went ahead and pulled my peppers off of that. Here I have my 3 beds covered, and basically what's in those are kale and broccoli and garlic and shallots, and those all survived fine, which I expected them to even without the cover, but I want them to continue to grow. So a lot of times if it gets really cold, the growth will slow down, so I'm hoping that by covering them, within about 30 days, I'll have some heads of broccoli that I can harvest. Unlike last year when I planted my broccoli. It survived fine. It didn't die back, but it didn't head. So this year, hopefully, I'm going to do that. And I've been watering my beds. I just watered them this morning with some warm water from inside the house instead of pulling it from my spigot, which is very cold water. I didn't want to shock the roots, so I'm watering with warm water from my house. Okay, and down here, this is Valerian, and it really looks much better than I thought it would, so that's a surprise to me. That's something I've learned today, is that the Valerian seems to hold up to a mild frost. And I'm not going to harvest that this year. This is something you harvest for the root to put in a tea, a sedative tea, and I've got some learning to do about that before I do that. Up here is some lavender, and it's doing fine. Pepper, another pepper has died. All the nasturtiums died. Peppers not looking good. I'll be pulling all these out. All of the zinnias died. I sure did enjoy those this season though. They were really, really nice. I'm going to grow a lot more of those next year. And on these little beds, I'm just kind of pulling the sides up so some air can circulate and some sun can get in there. You can see the broccoli's doing well, doing just fine. I did spray it with BT because I was starting to notice some worm damage. And the same for this bed. I just pulled up the side. You can see there everything's doing fine. This is the bottle I had the BT in. I like to kind of just keep the bottles in the garden already mixed up so I can spray when I need to. Of course, when it gets cold, they can freeze, and that doesn't do you much good. You're not supposed to let a lot of those go and freeze. So, and let's see here. All of my peppers, and those did really well for me this year. I was happy about those. I harvested all my peppers last night. And then my last pepper harvest, the pumpkin died. And I have 2 or 3 on here, little baby pumpkins. I don't know, we'll see if I can do something with those. I did harvest a baby pumpkin last night and I made something really good with it. So, there's another one over here. These I did not see last night when I was harvesting the bigger ones. So we'll see, because you can eat the skin on those, so it's pretty good when it's young, it's tender. And of course the zinnias, these other ones died back too, but the thyme looks really good. The lemongrass has been affected by the frost. I can tell that it has died, so I'll harvest that this afternoon. It just takes a while for it to fall over because it's a pretty fibrous grass, so it's upright, but it did not make it, obviously. Nasturtiums are gone. I harvested a lot of dill last night too because I'm going to put that in a little appetizer today. I was curious to see if my cilantro would make it. And let's see. Okay, there's one cilantro plant, and it's shielded and protected a little bit by the ginger here next to it, so it looks pretty good. I'm going to harvest that and use the root in a Thai dish that I want to make. But you typically use the root and not the leaves of the cilantro plant. Here is galangal. It did not make it either. The leaves are falling over. So that is something else I will dig up in just a little while, and I will freeze the ginger root for soups this winter. Alright, thanks for watching. Stay warm and happy gardening.